do much with the rear fender until my tail light comes. I've ordered it off eBay. It's coming from Hichiwachakuchi, Japan, or China, or Honduras, or somewhere. Should be here anywhere between 3 and 75 days. Hopefully before I move out of this house or retire from my job, it's here. But that's besides the point. You got to get the tank tore apart. And there are 3 little bolts up in there that you take out to get the speedometer and stuff off. It's easy peasy, lemons and squeezies. While I do this, I'm going to tell you a story. Story time with Nibby. Isn't that great? Once upon a time, my daughter gets her motorcycle permit. And now, all of my time, when I'm not at work, is now consumed by shopping for motorcycles. So she finds one. Looks like a nice bike. Of course, we all know what Facebook shopping's like. It looks like a nice bike. So we load the trailer up, get some cash. You always got to have some cash. Get some cash, and down the highway we go on a nice, frigid, icy road morning. Perfect weather for bike shopping. So down the road we go. We meet the guy at the end of his driveway. He messaged me that morning and said, "Oh, the weather's a little iffy. It's slippery up here. You're going to want to meet me at the bottom of my driveway." That should have been my first warning, but I'm a grown man. I don't know any better. So what I do is I say, "Okay, sounds good. We'll see you in a few minutes," because I'm stupid. So we get there and drive, parking lot's icy, and the driveway's icy, and the road's icy, and everything's icy. And here he comes down. I said, "Hey," he pulls in. I said, "I'm the guy. Come look at the bike." "Oh, okay. Go ahead and follow us up this road." So I get back in the truck, look at my daughter. I said, "I'll perhaps put it in 4 wheels. Probably a nicer driveway." It is at the bottom of the list of the definition of driveway. I believe the definition of a driveway is a passage to a place, house or garage or building, that your car or automobile may be able to traverse in a normal manner. That may not be the exact definition, but it's really close. This is not a driveway. This is a 4-wheeler trail. I've got my truck in 4 low, in second gear, spinning all 4 tires, dragging my car trailer going up this 4-wheeler path, trying not to hit trees with the fenders. So we get up this 4-wheeler path. Get up there, and I get out, and I've got my coffee in my hand, because you always got to have your coffee. Got my coffee in my hand, and I'm ready for the art of the deal. We all know what the art of the deal is. This is when we start to, have fun. So look at that. There's a big hole in there. We get out of the truck, coffee in hand, ready to rock and roll. Gonna get this bike cheap. Get out of the truck, coffee in my hand. I don't hunt. For you, those of you that know me, I don't hunt. I went hunting when I was a kid. Took my daughter once. Don't hunt. Don't like to hunt. Don't want to sit in the cold. Don't care. Don't want to hunt deer. Don't want to hunt rabbit. Don't want to hunt otters, beavers. Don't care. Don't hunt. So I get out of the truck. The first rule of wheeling and dealing: get on their side. So the first thing I say is, "Hey, did you guys get any deer this year?" No. So I didn't get any hunting stories. But I figured I'd try. Ad says the bike's stored indoors. Well, indoors to me means inside of doors. That means there's a building somewhere. Round, square, tarped off, whatever. It's a building and has doors. It was indoors. It was in a box trailer in the woods that leaked. So it may have been better off outside of those doors. But nonetheless, we walk over to it. Now, we messaged him and asked him if it was a running and riding bike. Can I run and ride it? Oh yeah, yeah. It runs and rides. We get there, walk down through, down the cow path to the trailer in the woods, and he opens the door, and there it sits. It's a little rusty, and the seat's off of it. I said, I thought it ran and rode, man. Oh yeah, we just need to jump it. We need to jump it. And I turned around, I'm looking like we are far away. We are far away from any receptacles of any kind, and this is going to be quite time consuming to get a vehicle in here to jump this motorcycle. So I said to him, I said, hey bud, before we get too far, before we waste all morning here, I said, what do you got to have for this bike? What's it worth? I said, well, I can tell you right now, I said, Kelly Blue Book and NADA price, I said it was around $1,700 depending on condition. And there was an older fellow there, and there was three guys there. One guy looked at the other one, he said, I won't take any less than two. I said, okay, ma'am, have a good one. Well, what do you mean? I said, we're not interested. Thanks for your time. Have a good one. Well, it'd be nice if you'd have told us that before you come up here. I said, well, I'm not mad. I said, I'm fine. I said, you guys have a good weekend. See you later. I understand people advertise things for more than what they're worth to be able to get what they're worth. That's part of the art of the deal. If something's worth $2,000, you advertise it for $2,500 till you dick the dog and go back and forth. You end up with $2,000 what it's worth, and everybody's happy. The guy who bought it thinks he got a deal, and you think you got a deal, and everybody got a deal, and we all know it's a bunch of horse pucky, but everybody thinks they got a deal. This guy just wanted way more than it was worth. He wanted way more than it was worth, period. And that's fine. You're allowed to want whatever. You can sell a roll of toilet paper for $1,000 if you'd like to. That's up to you. You're never going to sell it. It's going to sit in your bathroom and rot and fall apart if you want $1,000 for it. It's a simple fact. So that was the end. My daughter was upset. She's like, Dad, I really wanted that bike. I said, boy, you know what? I said, I don't even know if that's the same bike that I saw in the pictures, because the bike in the pictures was nice. The bike in the shed was not. The bike in the shed was rusty, had a torn up seat, and was not the bike that we saw. So we leave. That's the first bike we looked at that day. Now, I was a little upset with that kid because he did feed me a line. I mean, he said it ran and rode. I said, I can test drive it when I get there. Yep, you can test drive it. Now, I understand it's icy out, and I wasn't planning on test driving it, but I wanted to sit on it. I wanted to go through the gears, work the clutch. I thought it would be ready to be looked at. That's why you schedule times to look at things, to have it ready. And I told him, I'm coming, truck, trailer, and cash. I'm ready to rock and roll. Got our notary set up. We're ready. We're all on the ball. We might even be the ball. So we go look at the next bike. The next bike was a little different setup. You see, while we left that place, I said to her, hey, you've got me, I've got coffee, we've got a trailer. You got the cash in your pocket. Is there any bikes close? I said, any other bikes you want to look at today before we head the whole way home? She gets a hold of a guy. Well, it just so happens that this guy's not very far away from the last guy. Would have been nice if we'd known that after we drove halfway home, but hey, bygones be bygones, and whatever happens, happens. So we spin old Blue around, and back down the highway we go. Stop and get a fresh cup of coffee, head on and look at the next bike. Now, like I said, this bike's a little different setup. The first guy said, it runs and rides, it's a beautiful bike, needs nothing. That's what he told me. That's what it said in the ad. Till we got to look at the bike, it does not run and ride, won't even start. Every piece of chrome's rusty. It's in a shed or in a box trailer in the woods, like you keep, cow feed or broken chainsaws. And I can't even sit on it. The second bike was a whole different deal. She messaged a woman on Facebook. Woman messaged back. She asked her, she said, does it run and ride? Immediately, the woman messaged back, yep, runs, rides, and inspected. Come on over. And I'm like, yeah, woohoo! So we go look at this bike. Go in the driveway, get out. People were real nice, that they weren't rude at all. And we talked a little bit, walked around the bike, and I said, how mechanically inclined are you? The gentleman was not. He's an aficionado of riding. He loves it, but he's not mechanically inclined. That's fine. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of guys out there that ride horses that aren't veterinarians. So I walk around the bike and I pick out some things. And I said, well, I said, if we don't buy it, I said, this is a problem. I take it down the road. I ride it. Thing rides great. It's a nice bike. It is a nice bike. One problem. It's too big for my daughter. See, when we went to look at it, it didn't dawn on me that I was buying a bike for my daughter. I got this mentality that when I go to buy something, I am not bringing it home. I pick things to death that way. I don't bring them home. It's different than the mentality I used to have. So I take this bike for a ride, bring it back. I said to the couple, I said, you know what? This is a nice bike. I said, no doubt it's worth what you're asking. I said, $2,000 for an '06 1100 Honda. I said, that's a really nice price. I said, it's a nice bike. I said, one problem I have, I said, I think it's too big for my daughter starting out. I said, it's too top heavy. And my daughter says, well, Dad, I really like it. I said, sit on it. I said, now push it. She said, what? I said, sit on it and push it. And she couldn't. Just too heavy, too big of a bike for a girl starting out. And that's completely acceptable. So, I shook their hand. I said, hey, thanks for your time. I appreciate your time. The bike's just too big. And everything was fine. They were happy, and I was happy. I didn't waste my time that day. I don't think any time I get to spend with my kids is a waste of time. So that's Nibby's story for today. I hope you liked it.
Brought to you by Dell's Performance. You want performance? Go straight to Dell.